What's up, everybody? Welcome back. My name's Jake. This is Rocket's Return. Today, I've got a couple things. But first, let's crack open one of these packs, just for the heck of it. I've already pulled the SIR out of this box. It was the most upsetting thing because it's what happens to me with every set, and it was the SIR Trader. You want to talk about disappointment? If I wasn't already disappointed by the set, I'm just kidding. I actually like this set. If I wasn't already hoping to get something, let me tell you, that just shot it out of the sky. And you know, I've had the worst pull rates with this set. I've gotten like one illustration rare and some EXs and then the SIR. All right. Potion. Clefairy. Hawlucha. Who's that? Furfro? Close enough. Furfro. Judge. Ooh, can't tell who this is on the reflection of the phone. Volcanion, one of my preferred legendaries or mythicals, whichever you want to call them. Trainer card. This thing. Oh, look, there we go. There we go. The Dedenne. We will sleeve that up in a minute. Huh. It's decently centered. Not great. And then this telepathic energy. I actually kind of like these cards. I think these would be awesome for like these people who do art on their on Pokemon cards and sell them. I think these would be dope. If I could get a Gengar done like this with this, I would love that. Anyway, sorry, it's like 2 in the morning right now. I just got home from work and I wanted to talk about something. I've made this video twice now. The first time went so well and I forgot to hit the record button. The second time, I was so frustrated with myself for not hitting the record button that I didn't hit a single key point. I just blabbed on for like 25 minutes. So we're going to try this one last time. And if it doesn't come out the way I want, oh well, we'll post it anyway. What's the most you can say? Oh no, we didn't like it. All 15 of you going to be upset. Oh no. Like I said, I've got a couple things for this video. I'm trying to keep myself up, to keep myself perked and kind of awake. The second thing, after a nice little pack rip and a cool little Dedenne pull, I've been waiting on this for a while. Not that long. I paid for a quicker shipment, but this is a PSA order. And I got this morning when I woke up. And I came downstairs and it was sitting on my counter. And I was like, ooh, I wonder which one this is. Hopefully, it's the one with 28 cards. It's not. It's the one with 2 cards. But it'll still make a good video. I've talked about this before. I am a huge fan of the YouTube channel and content creator Jodo Jake. And Jodo Jake, it's funny because we have the same name. Jodo Jake and I have slowly become less creator to, you know, just some random fan he has, into more of an acquaintance. As a matter of fact, tonight while I was at work, we spoke and it was extremely, extremely cool. You know, he's a small to medium creator. If you like collector content, that's the guy. If you like grades and submissions, that's the guy. My favorite thing about him is that he talks to everybody the same. He treats them all well. He treats everybody with respect. And if you have questions, he answers them. He's not like a lot of these people where it's like, oh, reach out to me on Instagram and I'll get back to you. And then they never respond. He will respond in a few days. I'm not going to put all his business out there. He's got a really cool new job that's within the realm of collecting and Pokemon and stuff like that. So he has focused heavily on that recently, so I haven't seen a lot of his content. However, he told me that he will be back on the horse soon, which is awesome to hear. The reason I just went on that whole spiel, when I got this, I was really hoping that one of these was going to be a 10. Now that I say that, you can probably tell, oh, it's not. You would be correct. But let me tell you why this made me want to make this video. One of these is a childhood collection card. It is damaged. Technically, it's dinged. It's got a little corner ding. So I knew it was only going to get a 6 or below. Totally fine. But let's get into this and then we'll go from there. Like I said, I'm not going to lie to you. I've made this video twice, so I've done this open box reveal twice. Now I feel really stupid telling you that, but that's okay. See, PSA. Everybody hates them. Some people love them. There's really like you either hate them or you love them. There's no in between. All these little tag boys that think that these guys are going to lose it and tags are going to take over. No, and enjoy shit talking me in the comments. All right. Now, like I said, I've wrapped this and done this a few times, so we're not gonna pretend like we haven't. Okay, I'm gonna set this one down for now. So, I don't know why I'm hiding the grade, like I didn't just tell y'all that this was gonna be a 9. I bought this off a guy on Marketplace for $600. And when I did, I really thought, I told myself, this might be a good card. Okay? This might be a good card to grade. And if it grades, it goes from 600 to at the time what was 1200 and is now much higher. I did what I do. I got a little too excited and I missed something. Okay? And it's something very obvious. But this is one thing that I'm like really bad at. It's one of the things that I challenged myself to get better at grading. So the first time I did a submission, I got 30-ish, 30 to 40% 10 rating. My goal was to beat that this time by 10%. So 45 to 50%, depending on, I can't remember if I got 30 or 40. My goal was to get like 45 to 50, maybe 55% 10s on my next sub. I really thought it would be back before these, but it's not. So just so we know, one of these I knew was going to be way below a 10. The other one I hoped was a 10. This is the Mega Charizard EX from Phantasmal Flames. Okay. It got a 9. I'm not too upset by it, especially after I did a little research. The back is clean. You probably can barely see this on this camera because I'm sitting way back from it. It is very top heavy. The bottom's thinner. And then on the back, it's a little heavy on this side. Let me tell you why that doesn't bump me out. Actually, you know what? First, let's talk about the other card, because the other card is kind of like the big deal. Okay. It's a vintage card, and it is from 2002. This is a card that me and my sister have had in either one of our collections, and at the end of everything, I ended up with every Pokemon thing there is. So much to the point where when I looked up the value of this card, I asked her if she would be okay if I kept it, even though she has not seen Pokemon cards in 20 years. And she said, of course, they are yours now. I have nothing, zero desire, nothing like that. And I explained to her, I need you to understand the value of this card could be exponential. It could be life-changing. And this was before that I had pulled it out and noticed that it had a ding on it. And her response was, that's okay. You do what you got to do. It's yours, which is awesome. I could not thank her enough if I tried. My sister's fantastic. It didn't get it, like I said, didn't get a 10. Well, then I realized it was damaged, so it's definitely not going to. But it's still an awesome card. So without further ado, here is I'm going to cover the grade on this one. Here is my Reverse Holo Legendary Collections Charizard. I am not a Charizard fanboy. I'm really not. I grade a lot of them because they are what a lot of us would call a money play. They're what grade well. I've always heard if you can get Charizard, grade him because he's going to be worth money. And they're not wrong. So I did. And my intent is to sell this card eventually. Like I said, it's a childhood card, but I'm not a Charizard guy. I was really hoping, because I saw the ding. It's got a print line in the right side. It's a little scratched, but not much. You actually really can't tell that it's scratched because the reverse foil covers it up so well. The back doesn't have any whitening except for in the same corner that has the ding. It's a really clean copy overall for its age. But it got a 5. I thought it would get a 3 or a 4. So when it got a 5, I was ecstatic. And in one of my videos prior, I talked about don't sell things that you have a passion for. I don't really have a passion for Charizard. Even though that is a childhood card, I don't have this massive passion for it. Now, if I could get like $6,000, I would send my sister $1,000 and then I would take the rest and I would split it between some financial stuff as like just everyday debt that most people have, like car, etc., stuff like that. However, I won't get that for it, and that's fine. So when I do sell it, I'll use it for a little bit of debt, and then I will take the rest and I will put it towards this business that I am hoping to grow. And when I say business, I don't just mean like, oh, I use Pokemon for money. I mean, there's two sides of me. There's the funding my collection through a business, and there's the collection. There's my personal collection. Some of my favorite stuff is some of my cheaper stuff. So I think that's a blessing. In other words, I'm a cheap date. One of the things that really got me thinking about making this video was this Charizard. It's like, man, I wonder what that raw value is now. And right before, it clicked with me this morning when I got this. Technically, it was yesterday because it's 2 a.m. now. I wonder what that raw value is. I'm sure when I paid $600 for it, maybe $650. I'm sure it's gone up since then. Maybe $800, right? I'll make my grading fee back and a little bit of extra change. No big deal. Like I said, I'm not a huge Charizard guy, but I do like this card. And then I did a little research, and actually, you know, there's a weird way of how things work out and how things play out in your life, and you can't really explain them. But tonight, when Jodo Jake responded to my Instagram message, because I had asked him about this, hey man, would you resubmit this? And he said, oh no, man, take a look at the bottom, it's thin. He was right. I had talked to him about, hey man, started a YouTube channel. Once you know, I speak about you quite a bit in my videos. I have spoken about him a few times. I really look up to, you know, what you do, and you and I have become more acquaintances and kind of distant friends than anything. He was like, send me your channel. So he did. So I sent it to him, and he sent me a screenshot. So I'm putting these in the queue, and I'm going to watch them as I work. That's awesome, man. Thank you, Jake. Appreciate you, bro. He was like, he's like, dude, start posting on your Instagram. I don't see anything on your Instagram. I said, oh, I keep my private Instagram, like private for my life, my friends. And then I have a YouTube specific Rockets Return Instagram. When I was talking to him, he, you know, one, it was really cool of him to do that. But two, I saw this post that I had sent myself from one of my Instagrams to the other that was from, I think it was Minty Cards. I could be wrong. That's probably completely wrong. But it said something about BGS and PSA 9s will not be worth raw value anymore. They are worth more. And I thought it was so intriguing. And I was like, yo, I'm going to make a video on this. And then I didn't. And then I got this. I was like, oh crap, that's right. So I looked up the price of this, and I was like, huh. So here's the question. Could we see PSA? I'm going to speak specifically to PSA. I don't know BGS well, and my first time grading with them, which is currently now, has not been a good experience. They have actually lost my card and have cut contact with me, and I am furious. I opened a stream of packs of Dragon Ball Z. I pulled this one. It is one of the more rare ones. It's a beautiful card. I love Dragon Ball. And I thought, just looking at it, it was super clean. It's well centered. There's no whitening. There's no scratches. No nothing. I thought it had an excellent chance at a black label. And now they won't return. They keep saying, oh, we need your tracking information. But here's the thing. One, I don't have that because they've had the card for a month now. Two, they have sent me that it has been checked in twice now, which makes no sense. And yet it has still not been invoiced to get graded. And the person who handles all those little things you send, Rita, you bitch, will not respond to me. Won't do it. There will be another video on that at some point if they don't answer me by the end, or probably by the middle of next week. When y'all are seeing this video, I will probably be making a video on that. When I was looking at this card, I was like, huh, this card is actually more expensive than its raw counterpart, which recently that has not been a thing. But I believe what has happened is PSA has gotten stricter on grading. So we are seeing a lot more 7s and 8s, a lot less 9s, definitely a lot less 10s, which is bringing value to the 9, which it should because a 9 is still a mint copy. Okay? This is a mint copy card. Grading and raw have always been separated up until Scarlet and Violet came out, and all of a sudden, because of updated technology, etc., 9s were worth the same as 10s. Maybe Sword and Shield. Maybe not Scarlet and Violet. But either way, you get the point. So, I thought, I wonder if this is kind of common. Maybe it's because it's Charizard. So I picked, what's one of the most recent Charizards I could think that would do this? The 151 no-neck flying boy. I'll just give you some numbers. Charizard EX from 151, PSA 9 sold 419, 410, 406, 410, 424, 450, averaging 425. Raw sold 460. So the raw is actually selling for more. That could be because people are willing to pay more trying to get a 10. So I thought, okay, so it's not a Charizard thing. Is it a this card thing? Let me take another look. I'm going to go into something more modern than this, something newer. So I checked one of my current favorite cards, which is the Gengar from Ascended Heroes, the Mega Gengar. His most recent sales are 1,300. This is PSA 9. 1,300, 1,400, 1,300, 1,375, 1,350, averaging 1,350. Okay? Raw, 1,270. The PSA 9 was again more expensive than the raw. So I said, okay, well, let me check a different Pokemon and something newer than 151, but older than the Mega era. Destined Rivals Mewtwo. PSA 9, 520, 525, 590, 580, averaging 555-ish. Raw, 550. So yeah, a $5 increase. But make it make sense. What's happened, in my opinion, and I could be completely wrong, is PSA has made grading harder, and that has caused 8s and 7s to climb. 9s are still happening, but not as much as they were. So now these cards that are being graded, people are seeing the 9 as more valuable. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. To be honest with you, if you're like me, I don't know, my OCD says you got to have a 10. I want to grade my own 10, stuff like that. That's just who I am. But if you're a collector and you just want a cheaper version of a card and you don't want to grade it yourself, but you don't want to pay for a 10, buying a 9 now is probably a good move. And you should probably do it before they start to climb. Because if these newest ones are going up, all the ones that are going to get graded of people trying to buy raw versions of these cards and send them in, those 9s are going to start to climb too. So are those 7s and 8s. So do I think that the post that I read was correct? I do. I do think that PSA 9s will start to make a climb again now that PSA has tightened down on their grading scale. You don't have to like it. You don't have to enjoy it. You can be a tag boy and say, oh, tag's the newest thing ever. It's not. In my opinion, it's just, there's things that they have done that people do not seem to want to understand. One of those is like they have a longer turnaround time now. PSA recently cut off one of the submission tiers from members. Tag has recently taken some of the things you get when they started out, and they have made them more expensive. But yet y'all don't want to pay for higher graded, for more valuable cards. Like PSA has different pay scales for more valuable cards. But you want to pay an extra $75 to scan something and be able to look at it. Crazy. So I don't know if this will be the same for Tag, but I do believe that with BGS, PSA, and possibly CGC, which are the big three, the big 2.5, because BGS is now owned by the same company that owns PSA. I would say that there is a possibility that we watch those 9s go up. Now, what does that mean for the future? There is some sort of crash. What comes up has to come down. It must come down. However you want to say it, it will eventually drop. Now, if a 10 drops 20%, that means a 9 will probably drop 40%. If a 10 drops 50%, a 9 will probably drop 70%. Okay? I do think that the PSA 9 values for especially newer cards that are coming out in the mega era and up, will continue to rise, especially with the strict rule changes of PSA's grading scale. I do not know that that means that all cards prior to that will do that. I do believe that it could happen. So now might be the time for you to take advantage of getting PSA 9 prices at raw values before that changes, because we have seen everything go up. Right now, Japanese is having a boom. Vintage has had a boom. Modern had a boom. IRs had a boom. SIRs had a boom. And right now we're seeing vintage have a boom. Or, sorry, not vintage. Japanese have a boom. Which means we might soon see PSA 9s get the rest of the boom where everything starts going up. Anyhow, I'm exhausted. I need to go to sleep. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.